What's up, everybody? This is the Bros Gone Wild podcast. Hello, you fine people in America and all stretches of land. This is another episode of the Bros Gone Wild podcast. This podcast is a self-help, life tips, community angles, and overall current events in the world that you can sit down every Sunday, grab that coffee, get that smooth jam, and yeah, we'll catch you up for the week. We'll bring you to where you want to be in life, and yeah, you're chilling with the bros. So without further ado, let's get into this poll.
All right.
So, yeah.
This week, sort of a current event poll. Do you think Aaron Hernandez, who just recently was pronounced dead a few mornings ago, I don't know what morning exactly, but do you believe he committed suicide or was murdered or set up? Or, it could be interchangeable, but what'd you guys go with?
Well, we got 20 votes. I just want to...
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, 20 votes.
55% of our votes said suicide, and 45% said murder. So, yeah, Jay, what do you think? What did you vote in this situation?
Well, I voted murder, but I've flipped since my vote.
Nice.
Well, so I originally, when I saw it, I was like, holy shit, definitely looks like something's up. And then I thought, no, he probably just killed himself. Makes sense. He's going to be in jail for the rest of his life, this, that. And then all the people that know him are like, he'd never do this, and that. And then I kind of was like, holy shit, maybe something did happen. Mm-hmm. And then I saw a bunch of stuff after the fact where they said he was smoking, they said synthetic marijuana, which is like spice, which says it makes you get I don't know if it makes you hallucinate or something, but it's really intense and I don't know, could have caused him to kill himself. He had a Bible verse written on his forehead, or on his hand, or his forehead, I don't remember. But, and then another thing is so if you are still in the middle of appealing your case, so if you're still in the legal process saying that you didn't do it and you die, it goes back to as if you never committed the crime. So he'll never, from my understanding, is that since he killed himself and he was still in the process of going through his appeals, he will not be convicted of that murder. It'll be wiped away, and then since that technically never happened, he will still make his salary from the Patriots because he got released because he was arrested. Does that make sense?
Oh, that's really interesting. So his family kind of gets that.
And so yeah, he had a little daughter, a really young daughter.
So there's a good chance, in a way, that was his reasoning.
Yeah, he's gonna be in jail for the rest of his life. Give her, set her up. I don't know. That's my understanding of it.
No, that's very interesting. What did you?
Makes sense.
What did you choose when you?
Yeah.
When the
Well,
midst of things?
I don't know. I'm flip-flopping a lot right now because I originally picked murder, and then I kind of had the same logic as Jonah going on. I want to see where he wrote that on his body. How do you write on your own forehead? I wonder if
they
it
have
was...
mirrors and stuff.
Yeah, but I don't know who the...
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I'm
Maybe
just
it was on his hand.
How long was his Bible?
No, it was John 3:16.
Oh, that... Okay. Yeah,
I don't know. Yeah, he probably killed himself, I guess. But
he was fucked up too. He was probably going some crazy shit through his head.
Marijuana? What on earth?
that stuff's not... It's very safe. So he probably... And he got it in prison, too. So it probably wasn't this... If there was any such thing as safe synthetic marijuana, it probably wasn't very safe.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Yeah, I put murder. I figure... They always talk about in those... When they analyze it after they're dead, how easy it is to tell whether they did it themselves or someone else did it.
Really?
Yeah. In terms of, it's usually pretty easy to tell from a crime investigating thing that, oh yeah, this was suicide, this was murder, and people that shoot themselves or whatever, it's easy for them to tell if they held it up, and they have all these different ways of doing that. But so I figured if they pronounced suicide right away, and even though there was some stuff coming out, I think the evidence of no one being there and whatever that might have been and how he struggled through it, I think that kind of...
I just have to... You said you voted for murdered.
I meant suicide if I said
okay,
that.
I was a little confused.
Oh, yeah, no, sorry. I meant suicide.
Okay.
I voted suicide.
Gotcha.
But, yeah, crazy situation. It was crazy that we talked about it right before, literally.
Yeah, it happened a couple days after we recorded the last podcast.
It was pretty wild.
Twas.
Intense situation, but, yeah. Moreover, Dayton, do you have anything you want to bring up to us?
I wanted just to throw something in. So we recently talked about cruises, right? And we talked about jumping overboard. We had some sort of discussion about that.
Yeah.
It was funny because my family members, some distant family members,
Jumped off a cruise ship?
well, they were on a cruise ship and some guy jumped overboard on his honeymoon.
No way.
Never saw him again, obviously. Just that was the last time anybody.
He's on his honeymoon.
Whoa.
He's like, oh shit, I made a mistake.
Yeah, I've been waiting to bring this up to you guys.
I didn't want to marry this
He was
kid.
on his honeymoon and it was like 5 a.m. Guy just literally just jumped overboard.
Oh my God.
It was no doubt intentional.
I mean, I
They have
don't really
camera footage of
know.
that?
Yeah,
but
because like,
the eyewitness account said the guy went up to the ledge and just jumped off the thing.
Oh.
Like,
Jesus Christ.
so I don't know. Maybe who knows? Maybe the guy was like hammered or something in the middle of the night and thought it
Could've
was
been.
just jumping in the
Dude,
bathtub.
the honeymoon's supposed to be
I don't
the
know how
best
you
time of your life,
mistake
dude.
Oh
that.
my
Yeah, I don't know,
word.
dude.
That's crazy.
I know.
That's
It
nuts.
was interesting that we were talking about
It's a
it.
hell of a way to kill yourself, I'll tell you that.
I think you would immediately be chopped up by the propellers. I think you
No.
get sucked
Whoa.
under. I think you get sucked under,
Oh.
and then you're immediately dead and chopped up.
don't-
Or
I don't know if you necessarily get sucked under.
I think those
You
things are a
might-
lot more powerful
No.
than you expect.
Well, they have to be, dude. Those
Think
ships
about what
are
that's moving.
un-fucking believable.
Like 30 tons of whatever.
More
Probably
than
more.
that.
Yeah, more than that.
Way more than that.
Yeah. No.
Cruise ships are unbelievable. You don't really appreciate how big they are until you stand like next to one,
Yeah.
and you look up and you're like, "Oh my god!"
I did Googling on going overboard in cruise ships, and they say you would die basically on impact because the
It's
water's
so
so
high.
cold.
You're
And
in
your
the
body,
middle of the ocean.
just-
Well, like your body has that reflex where when it gets cold, you
gasp.
So when you go under, you get a
Oh my gosh.
lungs full of water, and
good
it's just like
point.
that. It makes sense.
Well, I
makes
mean,
a
I
lot
take
of
cold showers sometimes.
Yeah,
so.
it's true.
Hof.
Yeah, Wim Hof. But yeah, that was just
That'd be a quick death.
yeah. I don't think it would be the funnest way to
Yeah.
go, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Moving on to owning a cruise ship line or owning some sort. I asked you guys this in the beginning of the week, and I never brought it up again because
Oh
I
my
kind of forgot, and I
gosh.
just kind of realized. But I asked you guys if you could own one company.
Oh, I haven't thought about it. Anyway, go on.
If you could own one company that you don't have an economic advantage by owning this. All of it is equal in terms of it doesn't matter how much you make, but out of pure joy of owning one company that exists right now, what would you pick?
I think I have my answer.
I think I have mine too.
John, I want to hear yours first.
I think I'd pick Walt Disney.
Wow.
There's so much that's engulfed in that. You would own all the Disney World parks, everything like that. That in and of itself is just fantastic.
Joy.
You get to ride for free. It's the happiest place on earth, dude. Are you kidding me? It's amazing.
Space Mountain.
If they own, their production company, and they make films, TV shows, this, that, you could work with the biggest stars in the world. It just seems like it would be a cool company to, own. Not a lot of work to maybe run, but if I'm just kind of the owner,
Mm-hmm.
figurehead,
Yeah. No,
Disney
totally.
would be a good company.
I'm not mad at that call.
Nice.
Get to meet all the characters.
That's like the exact opposite of what I was about to say.
I mean,
I was just gonna say I would right now, realistically, I wouldn't be aiming too big. I would like a small little
Oh.
vinyl shop or something like that.
Wow.
Because I'm obsessed with, I don't know, I'm obsessed with my vinyl.
So maybe
all day just being around that shit and being able to listen to.
So there's two
Children.
choices you could have. You could have a vinyl producer, so maybe you make all these vinyls and send them out to other companies that sell them, or would you want to be an owner of a shop that
A
sells?
shop that
A shop,
trades,
for
sells, yeah.
like a massive shop
I wanna
around the country that
yeah,
sells them.
and I want old ones and new ones, and I
Would
don't
you
want. just like new, like, because I could have a shop and just have like the newer stuff or just the older stuff.
And is this strictly vinyls? Because Urban Outfitters, for example, they sell a good amount of vinyls.
Yeah, I think vinyls out of like that and the Walkman and the CD-ROM player, that they just sound the coolest out of all of them. So I don't know.
What about you?
Well, I had a lot of trouble with this. I could take a lot of different routes, and
Wow.
I had the company. I hadn't thought about this until I just asked you guys. If I'm being completely honest, so I could take a route where I could own a movie or a video game company, and I think that would be really sweet to just be backlines and I don't know, getting to watch some of this stuff evolve and controlling that and different things. But or I could take the really cool route. It's going into Somerset. It's pronounced the most profitable. I think the most profitable clothing industry or clothing company right now, and it's bugging me like crazy because I can't remember the name. But
you can't remember the name ever since the accident.
Yeah, ever since the accident. And, gosh, it's going to... Zara. So they're very fashion-based. One of the big things they do is throughout all their stores, they have new products every single day. And all of it is one time. They have it for one time only. So they'll get a bunch of a product, and it'll stay in the store until it's all sold out. But then that's it. That's all it lasts. And they're extremely successful. It's very current fashion.
A lot of those, like, I don't know if it's like a boutique, but like a lot of those like smaller stores like change around their setup like every week.
Yeah.
It's
and I think my dad was even saying he was reading an article on the Zara guy, and he is one of the most. I mean, I know we were talking not profitable, but he's one of the richest men in the world in terms of owning real estate and money in general, and it's crazy.
Big buck. I'm looking up numbers right now. He makes a big
Does
buck.
he? Yeah.
That's crazy.
But no, it would just be super fun to be involved in all that kind of fashion and current type things, and you're meeting all these superstars that do fashion, and people are reaching out to you that want like your idea. I think that'd be really cool, and just a whole different spin on my life that I could take. New route.
It's interesting. I wouldn't have guessed that.
Yeah. No, this was just kind of random, but
he's the second richest person in the world. Sorry, I'm just throwing random facts.
Wow.
No, I thought it was nuts.
But right behind Bill Gates?
71.3 bill.
Oh my goodness.
Is what he's worth. Yeah,
That's incredible. I've never even heard of that guy.
Wow, dude.
Never even heard of that brand.
That's a lot of cash.
That's a
lot of coin.
Oh yeah, Serena's pregnant.
Penny.
Have you seen that?
That's what I was gonna bring up to you guys.
Oh yeah.
I guess changing topics a little bit. Did you see Serena Williams is pregnant?
Yeah, I did see that.
Announced via Snapchat.
Her kid's gonna be a walking NBA player.
That's what I wanted to ask Jonah about.
He's gonna come out of the womb and be ready to compete
Grand Slam.
Professionals.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
The greatest athlete of all time.
He'll be drinking like normal drinks. Will just be out of those Grand Slam mugs. Trophies.
It's just too bad that she didn't marry like LeBron James, so they could have like a super.
You kind of wonder
kid.
what would happen if something like that.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like two just phenomenal athletes kind of just team up.
Like what comes out for two of maybe the best girl and guy athletes in the world?
Right.
I think you could pretty much say LeBron is probably the most athletic beast in the NBA.
He's a specimen. He's huge.
I was watching him the other night. Came back from a 20-point lead.
He's stronger, faster, smarter than everybody in the league.
It's just absolutely unbelievable. And I guess this going off of semen.
Oh my gosh.
Me and Dayton.
Jeez.
I was telling Dayton about this movie I saw recently. I should probably look up the movie so people
Oh
can
my
know.
god.
But it's a movie I saw maybe a few years ago. And it's all about how this guy was donating his semen to a bank, and
he ended up having a ton of kids.
Yeah, so he was donating it as he was a college kid just for the money and everything. and all of a sudden he didn't want to know anything about it, but he was like 40 years old. He wasn't married or anything, and so finally he goes to this bank and asks for the results or what they've
all
given
the
it
women
to.
who
And he's
took
like, and he's thinking that maybe 1-2 people. He gets it, and he has like 108 kids or something wild like that.
Oh my!
And so the
God.
rest of the movie is based around him traveling.
Is it a
the
true
country.
story or no?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
What's the title of the movie? Did you
That's
find
what
it?
I want to find out.
Sorry, I thought you found it.
We
Did
just
you watch
talked about
this?
In
like 3 years ago. It was a great movie. It was emotional
Huh.
and
I bet it was emotional.
intense.
Gosh, that'd be wild. Just
What?
one day figuring out you have like 300 kids.
It's wild.
Just something ridiculous.
Yeah, I wonder how.
He must have donated a lot of sperm.
Yeah, that is a lot.
It is, but at the same
But
time,
then, what's the like? How much can you get out of one donation?
out of
Because
one
there's
load.
a lot of swimmers in there.
Yeah, dude, there's
I
like
know.
a million in like a drop, right? There's like a lot of little
Yeah, I
swimmers.
Yeah,
guess
so-
I didn't realize
so
they might
What's the
divide it up.
PPL?
What's the price per load, dude? The PPL. How much am I getting per load to do
Yeah, how
this?
much? Do-
Because look,
That'd be easy
at
to
a
find
point, at some point, I lose money.
yeah,
You know, I lose money.
like they're definitely getting a lot more out of it.
Yeah, they're getting.
Than I am.
Oh, without a doubt.
Yo, because they're selling that semen
They're
for a
selling
lot
that for
Ooh.
a
a
lot
pretty
of money.
penny.
Right,
No,
so
no doubt.
I better be seeing some benefits.
I want to see some lifelong.
I want
pay.
to see a high PPL. Give me a
I want to
paycheck.
see a monthly paycheck. Like, hey, this is just another
Hey,
$300 for your donation
Usually the range is $35 to $50 per specimen.
per load.
wait, so like per cup, like per serving?
swimmer. Joey reads a lot.
I don't know, man.
What is it?
No, they just like test you before.
Interesting. I wonder if maybe you have great swimmers that maybe you get paid a little extra.
Hey, they might
you're a
make,
higher
they might
priority.
you.
I
On your
don't know, dude.
taxes, you get
All I
to-
know is they be emailing me back, and I'd have to
Hey,
unsubscribe.
so, hey, what exactly do you do for a career? Well, I just donate my sperm. All
I have a
right.
pretty good PPL rating. My credit's high, my PPL's high.
If you want your son to shadow me or something,
Yeah. I've been looking into a lot of new extraction methods.
oh my gosh.
I've been investing in the
bad.
latest and greatest technology. In that, but
I'm looking for an intern to shadow me. Your son's interested.
for
All
your
right.
internship, you have to take not a drug test, but a sperm test,
Fertility test.
fertility test. Oh yeah, he's good. All right, well, moving on.
Yeah. Moving on.
One actually thing I wanted to talk about, me and Jonah brought up very slightly, but we figured it was just good info to educate our audience with.
Oh, yeah.
We were just kind of talking about, and I figured you'd be interested in this too, Dayton. It's one of the awesome things about MLB baseball that no other sport can relate to is that every field is a little bit different.
It plays different.
It plays different.
Like in football, it's 100 yards, this, that. I mean, yeah, you can get turf and grass, but not a huge difference. In baseball, you have a short porch here. You got the Green Monster. Different fields. Some fields play better to hitters. There's hitters parks. There's pitchers parks. When there's a lot of foul territory, it's better for the pitcher. We just thought it was kind of interesting how, like, it can change a game just by the park you're in, and how, like, a player's career can get turned around by just playing somewhere else. Like Curtis Granderson went to the Yankees and led the league in home runs because he had a short fence in right field. Like it's just cool that all these different stadiums play differently and can benefit one player over another, and
It is cool.
One's more likely to succeed.
Every park's got their little thing.
Yeah.
I feel like.
I'm waiting for a park to just put a big old apple tree center field,
Oh my gosh.
and you just gotta work with
Yeah,
it.
right around.
Just play it off the apple tree.
Yeah, just
my
the
God.
difficulty.
That's a brilliant idea. Why did anybody
You
ever think of
imagine
that?
Be beautiful,
thinking,
like a
dude,
dope tree.
In New York, at the Mets Stadium, they have a big ass apple in the outfield. The Big Apple.
Yeah.
Oh, just
In
like,
the field of play, though,
No.
right? Is
yeah,
that
No,
what
I
you're
understand what you're talking about.
What's
Oh my
the
gosh.
field that has the hill?
There's a lot. Oh,
There's-
that's Houston.
Houston.
That's
Okay,
Houston.
okay.
Houston.
Yeah, no, we were just kind of saying, what other sport really has that? I mean, NBA is so regulatory, and they have to have these exact hoops, exact
Lines.
nets, exact lines.
Yep.
Everything's exactly the same to each stadium and court. That
Yeah.
it's almost only this. And I was just actually thinking, the only sport that can kind of relate to that, I guess, is tennis, in the sense that they have different
Grass.
gravel,
clay.
clay,
Gravel.
not gravel.
Wow, that'd be tough.
clay.
Dang, dude, Federer's going to take that
Gravel.
grand slam here pretty soon. That's funny.
Yeah, but it's just very interesting in baseball.
That is, I never actually really thought of that, but it's very true.
And Jonah brought up a point. I didn't realize they had pitching parks.
Like-
He said
oh,
the
yeah.
Oakland A's
Like-
is a big pitcher's park because a lot of foul territory.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even think
Makes
about
sense.
that. It's a very good point.
Uh-huh.
But no, yeah, just
That's an interesting point.
totally random.
That's funny. Everyone's in the baseball mood, I feel like, right now, just because of
Yeah.
how nice it's getting.
We're around that churn.
Here we are.
Tailgate season.
We've made the
Not
turn.
really, but it's summer season. Dave, do you have anything you
Yeah.
wanted to kind of touch on?
I have something I saw on Twitter. It was one of those stupid memes, but I had to ask you guys. I'll read it verbatim, and I want you guys to each give me your answer.
Mhm.
A gun to your head, you get one song choice. Recite it perfectly, you're free. Mess up, he pulls the trigger.
Oh.
Which song you picking?
All right. So I have to sing the entire song.
Every single lyric has to be perfect.
Wow.
Damn.
I know.
Can I do like a?
ABCs.
That's
no,
exactly what I was
it's
thinking.
off limits. I was like scrolling,
Yeah.
scrolling up and down, and that was kind of
This
like
is
a
like
stupid
this
answer.
is a song I hear on the radio. That's what I have to kind of almost narrow it down to. Something that you'd listen to. This is
Now, I
interesting.
think I have my answer, and I don't know how many other people would pick this, but Don't Stop Believing by Journey is one of the easiest songs to sing of all time. I could sing that in my sleep. I'd feel pretty confident I'd be walking out of there unharmed if I
Wow.
could sing that one.
Wow.
You also got to factor in your nerves.
You're nervous.
You got a
Oh, yeah,
gun to
that-
your head while
even-
this. And do you get the song
even-
playing in the? Do you get the?
You get the instrumental version.
That's what I was
Yeah.
asking. Yeah.
Yeah, you get the
Oh,
instru-
wow.
No, you get a
That's
melody.
very important.
You get a melody.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want a melody.
'Cause I
you
got to
can
work
have it.
with that.
No, that'd be too hard. And honestly,
Listen, let's not downplay the fact that if there's no words playing in the background, you just have the instrumental. That's tough.
It's hard to get
Like even if you,
started.
no, you could even know. I could know this every word to a song, but if I don't have it in the background to kind of go with,
Oh, yeah.
I'm not singing every word. I don't know if there's any song that if you just give me the instrumental that I could hit every single
oh, I
line.
could.
I don't. Know
I don't
if
think I could ever do that.
It's not that hard.
You don't think you could do Gorilla?
That's the song I was gonna pick, but I don't know if I don't know if I could do it without him on there. I mean, I could do parts, but I don't think I could do the whole song.
That's what I would be scared about.
I don't think I could.
Picture by Kid Rock.
My first instinct thought was Landslide Dixie Chicks, if I'm honest.
That's a good one.
That one's not terribly hard
You
to
do.
sing.
You do belt that one just right out.
That
don't
one's
you?
just ingrained in me.
Yeah, it is.
That
It's a
is
good
also
song.
my karaoke song. Do you guys have a solid karaoke song that you go, yeah, that's my karaoke song?
Well, I have a few of those.
Do you?
I mean, I think my answer's the same for both questions.
I don't know.
You
dude.
do Gorilla for karaoke?
Oh, no doubt.
I do something
Interesting.
Michael Jackson probably for
Oh, wow.
Little
karaoke.
MJ, little
Any-
man in the mirror.
Any MJ is good for karaoke.
Nice.
Yeah, probably Billie Jean. Smooth Criminal, probably, actually.
Oh, wow.
Smooth Criminal is one of my favorites.
That's good. That's a great one because people will love that playing.
Right.
You have to think about that as a karaoke song, too. It can't be this random ass song that people are going to be like,
Something relevant, but something that people don't remember on the day-to-day.
that is there's something unique that everyone's going to be like,
Oh,
this is a great
yeah,
song.
right,
I forgot about this song.
a good play. Just a
Yeah, I'm
classic good
surprised
play.
he knows every word. Yeah. And the best part about karaoke is when people are walking around, not looking at the lyrics, and just working the
Jamming.
crowd.
Oh, yeah. Passing the mic.
Gosh, I strive to be good at karaoke, but I've still never really done it. which I'm so disappointed in myself that I
don't
haven't.
know if I'd ever do it.
At the cabin, it'll happen.
It has to. Once we are of legal age, we will be going to the cabin every Wednesday, and I will be 100% sober. Only looking forward to this karaoke and just practicing.
Oh my god. For some
Yeah,
reason,
you
I
get
believe
some
that's false.
you get some solid practice in when you
Yeah.
take showers, so you can hear
Oh.
you out here.
Well aware.
We're sitting on the couch and Josh is just belching out songs in the shower.
Yeah. The notes are singing to me. I'm not singing it.
God.
Actually, something interesting. We're talking in my Asian history class. We're talking about modern Asian, Chinese societies and Japanese societies. One of the biggest things they do there, like honestly, one of the most popular things they do in those Asian countries is karaoke. Almost every night after work, people get hammered and it's karaoke bars everywhere.
What do you mean?
Through China and Japan and all that.
In China?
Yeah.
Oh my
that is,
god.
That is the most popular pastime at night.
It's because they
Or
can't use their phones to do anything.
I didn't know what you were going to say there. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I thought that was random as all get up. And, yeah, government's strict over there. I did not realize how strict it was. I think I've said this to you guys, or I don't know if I've said it to you, Dayton. They can't go on Google. They can't go on Twitter. And if I was to go over there with my phone and tried to get on Google, it would say not allowed. And
that's weird.
And they have all these separate things that they're governed. And one crazy thing is, I think it's called like the Great Firewall of China. It's the firewall that blocks all the stuff they don't want, the government doesn't want.
Yeah.
And they have 2 to 3 million workers that they pay for these workers to just purely go through all these articles, all these videos, and make sure that censor it and make sure that it's approved for the government.
Gosh.
Think about that spending, that tax money or whatever to have that.
It's a communist government, dude. They can do whatever they want.
Yeah, it's wild. I mean, no, it's just super interesting.
Yeah.
That other side of the world. It's another world, really.
It really is.
If I could be a leader of a country, though, realistically, like if I could be like the head of a country, I'd want to be a dictator, dude. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's nothing against it. Just like, if I'm gonna be in power, I want whole power.
I almost
You know what I mean? Because like, I don't want to be like the president. The president
right
is kind of like, yeah, you have power, but not really.
No.
You can do something, but it's just gonna get overturned. If I'm the dictator, dude, whatever I say is the law.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm Kim Jong-un, dude,
yeah.
if I tell you to go piss in the corner, you got to go piss in the corner.
Gosh.
He kills people. He kills top generals who betray him.
Yeah.
Like, it's wild. I mean, I'm not saying I'd be a ruthless dictator or anything like that. I'm just saying.
You want the full. You
I'd
want to
be-
be able to do something. You don't want to have limits in a way.
It's kind of a tease to be
It is.
president of the United States, biggest, best country in the world, and then you kind of
can't really do as much as you really think you can.
right, and then you're limited. Obviously, it's good for the people and everything, but I mean, if you're in that position,
in a way, I almost feel it's. I don't know about this. It's almost less stressful to be a dictator because if you're the president, you have to represent all of these people.
Politics,
and
you're trying to get
You're
reelected.
not making choices for the better of your country. You're making choices for the better of your party, for the better of the people that elected you.
That's what's so shitty about like politics and everything now. It's just like people do things to save their ass so they get reelected or this or that. And I feel like they never really.
That's
like,
what sucks about our Senate.
Do things for like the right reasons. Like there's a lot of things that I feel like could be bipartisan, like where like it doesn't really matter if it's Democrat or Republican, but one party has this idea that they kind of have to align with. It's like, really?
That's what sucks. And people, they'll make, in the Senate, they'll make decisions purely on their party. They might think way differently, but they're picking their party and whatever that bill says.
They identify
just
with
so
the
they
party.
get reelected.
Yeah.
Because
they have to.
if a Democrat were to vote
so
for a bill that the Republicans put up, then he's not going to get reelected because the Democratic Party's going to screw him.
Right, they expect him to stick with his guns.
Democrat, right, and if a Republican thinks that legalizing marijuana should be good and they vote for it, then the Republican Party screws them over. Like it's just you kind of it's a lose-lose.
They attack the people that are doing the right thing, almost. or doing their beliefs.
It's all about saving your job.
Yeah.
Which kind of stinks.
No, yeah. But I don't know. It's just a very weird thing to handle, and who knows? There's not like a right way to go about fixing it in a way. Yeah, it's weird.
Yep.
Yeah. Anything else? I guess we can kind of move on. Anything else you want to bring up, D?
Well, kind of on the topic of political affiliation, I recently just watched got halfway through a documentary last night that was very, very liberally slanted, very left side, but it was pretty good. It was called Bowling for Columbine, and it just investigated the shootings of Columbine in 1999 and just talked about gun control and then the homicide rate in America and stuff. So obviously it was pro-gun control because it was liberals. But yeah, it was interesting, and I don't know, I just wanted to...
I don't know much about Columbine.
Yeah, I wanted to bring it up to you guys because you guys both said you didn't know much about it. It was the deadliest high school shooting in U.S. history in 1999 on 4/20, coincidentally.
Nice.
And
Wow,
yeah,
that's just like a couple days ago.
yeah. So I don't know how many years. It's been, what, 17, 18? Because it happened in 99, so it would have been 18 years.
Yeah.
Two kids that were kind of considered the outcasts or weirdos, whatever, shot up the school, targeted kids, targeted a couple black kids, and just went off the wall, batshit crazy. And it really brought up just the idea of, should we have stricter gun laws? And yeah, I didn't get all the way through it, so I didn't get to see too much, but they went really into it, and it was pretty sad. A lot of these parents just lost children.
Kids.
It's horrible.
Like that. They went to school, never came back.
And wasn't there bombs that went off and stuff too?
So
and I know there was.
Or they said there was bombs,
they
right?
were.
And they didn't
attempting
go
to.
off or something.
They
had them set
they,
up.
They didn't like work or something.
Exactly.
And then they also tried to set fire to the cafeteria and lock people in there.
God.
They
That's
tried doing a
crazy.
ton of stuff,
Reminds me
stabbing
of
kids.
Carrie.
Yeah, it kind of was like that. Yeah.
Nuts.
That's wild.
But they were blaming it on. So it brought to the surface of violent video games, violent TV. You know, Marilyn Manson, like music like that, screamo, that you like to listen to at the gym. So everybody be on the lookout for Josh.
Yeah,
it's
Josh
not
fits
funny.
all those
Right.
violent video
Violent-
games, screamo.
Violent guy.
Yeah, not funny, but still. Yeah.
Wow.
So it was an interesting thing to watch. Very sad, but it really kind of makes you think about.
Yeah, that's something I should know more about. And
But like I said, you could tell it was just very biased, very slanted towards, appealing to the liberals. But
what's your guys' feelings on gun laws? Do you think that's...
I just don't see why it's necessary for anybody to have a huge automatic rifle.
That's where I think the lines should be drawn.
Like, I'm not saying take away guns from anybody, but I don't see why, if you want a massive AR,
What's that
why
gonna
that's
do?
necessary. And if I understand, a lot of people say it's for sport and this and that. I feel like if you want to purchase it, then then you should just keep it at a location. And that if you want to use it, you can go and you can use it there under supervision. You can do the whatever there. But I don't see any reason to be able to have that in your home. What do you need that for?
Yeah.
You're not fighting off a huge army of people.
you're
You
not.
know what I
gonna-
mean? Like it's not.
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean, that's like the main thing is I just don't see the need for automatic rifles for
That's
a
the biggest
civilian
thing.
to
I
have.
agree with that. It
And
just
if you
seems
want to use it,
unnecessary.
then you should use it at a controlled location. And if you want it moved, then they can move it for you. But I just don't see any reason to have it in your home or on you.
Those kids had automatic weapons too. That was
Yeah, a
There's
lot of people do. It's
One
not
that's-
uncommon.
Yeah.
there's high school footage of them in the cafeteria walking around with like mini Uzis and
It's
just
crazy.
taunting these kids. Yeah, it's terrible.
One thing that is so bad about it is the accessibility of it. You can go on Craigslist, I think, even, and talk and message these people and get automatics without really going through
Yeah.
that much. I don't know how. I don't know enough about it.
You can get anything nowadays pretty easy though with the internet.
Uh-huh.
It's pretty easy to get
Yeah,
just
I
about
mean,
anything.
changing the laws will only help so much. I mean,
Yeah.
if you
Yeah.
want to get your hands on something,
You'll
can.
get your hands
You
on
can.
it.
right,
Absolutely.
but at least make it more difficult.
Yeah, yeah.
Stop. Yeah. And No, that's an interesting topic.
Yeah, that's my little bit about that. I don't know.
Uh-huh.
So.
Yeah, I was it's completely changing topics. I brought this up to you guys just slightly, but I was listening to this JRE podcast, and Dayton was telling me a little bit about it, but I don't know much about it. But apparently, Ari Goldberg, or this was Joe Rogan's friend, it was a podcast that was directly talking about psychedelic drugs. And it's an interesting thing to hear about and hear these stories about, and it's just wild that that's a part of our lives. And he was talking about how this Ari Goldberg guy took salvia, which is a psychedelic. I don't know anything about it, but he had the 5-month trip, he had a trip that lasted 10 minutes, and he felt like he stepped into another life, everything separate, and he felt like he was there for 5 months, but was really 10 minutes.
That's ridiculous. The fact that you can ingest something that makes your mind completely altered and you to go into this totally different reality is just unreal.
Dude was messed up. Think about that.
How crazy that is.
The time difference is crazy. If you think it's 5 months and it's only been 10 minutes, you got to be messed up.
5 years.
No, 5 months. 5 months. 5 months of time, that's only 10 minutes, and that's just going on in your brain. Your brain's just tweaking out.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
naturally found.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. And don't they say that once you're dying, you release a lot of your DMT in your body, or
that's what I've heard.
Is that why you see everything?
That's why
I think it's the similar chemicals are released in the brain when, I don't know. That's what I hear. I don't know if I'd ever. Yeah, that's crazy.
That stuff's wild. I don't know. And then they were also talking about this toad that I told you a little bit about that has this psychedelic venom, and apparently it's this big myth that if you lick this toad and you can get this venom, then you'll trip. But apparently that's not true at all, and people were dying, and you actually have to smoke it instead of... It's just weird how these people figure this stuff out. How do you smoke a...
how are you smoking a frog?
I don't know. Yeah. It's just a whole other aspect of life
that can't be good for you.
I could go my whole life and not know anything about any of this stuff. Pretty easily. It's just a whole different world. I don't know. There's not much to talk about, I guess, but...
There's so many naturally occurring things that, really fuck up a person.
Yeah.
It's pretty
and people
incredible.
Have no
There's
idea.
So many drugs that are just...
They were even saying there's some stuff that grows in California that people have it as it looks really pretty. No one has any idea. You can pick that, smash it, and snort it or something weird, and you'll trip like crazy. Yeah, but no one has any idea.
Tobacco, marijuana, all these different opioid plants, cocaine plant, it's all natural, not synthetic stuff, and it's just wild. Do you know how they figured out LSD, how LSD became? I listened to a podcast about it at work over the summer. Mm-hmm. So this guy was trying to figure out, I'm pretty sure it was a better cough medicine. It was meant for children.
Oh.
And he took it one night to test it out, and he just a very tiny amount, and was just tripping.
Whoa.
Right? Or correct me if I'm missing information.
He took a visibly a tiny amount, but in reality that was a lot of hits of acid.
Oh, okay.
A drop or two of that shit he had was a lot of hits of acid.
Oh, okay.
So it was
he tripped sack.
Oh yeah, it appeared to be a little bit, but I bet you that was multiple
and then
tabs.
I think he went and took it to his bosses or the people in charge and was like, I got this, that whatever, and then they took it at less than him. And they tripped and they were like, holy shit. And then I think that's kind of how they stumbled upon it. It was a complete accident. Guy was trying to make a medicine and he made this one of the most psychedelic drugs on the market.
This stuff's crazy how that comes about.
Mm-hmm.
That's always really cool to hear.
And then they immediately made it illegal right after.
Well, it was legal for a long time.
How long
Did we
ago?
learn about
I
that
didn't think
groups
it.
class?
Dude,
They were.
it was it Nixon or Reagan? Somebody made a bunch of these drugs illegal. It was the same time when marijuana got a class 1 schedule.
Yep.
They were.
Or schedule 1 drug classification, I think. I'm pretty sure LSD was legal for like in the 60s
right.
They were
or in the
testing-
70s.
I don't know, dude.
And there was
because-
they had like these creative things on the tabs or something.
It's because the government came out with they said that LSD like put holes in your brain or something, and it's just completely untrue, and people kind of start freaking out.
Oh yeah, 1943. Albert Hoffman consumed some LSD and found the dose, but it was popularized in the 1960s.
Yep.
And yeah, pretty wild.
When did it get
Banned the drug in 1967. So people were taking it throughout the 1960s.
Yep.
And
All the hippies.
No, that's really cool.
Yeah, I think they just kind of. Yeah, I don't know what it was, but they kind of released this like propaganda that it was really bad for you. When now people are starting to think that it could be good and that it could help with like PTSD and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. I guess that kind of rounds things up. I feel like that's about all the drug talk we can do. And for those who are wondering what that movie I was referring to with the sperm, it's called Delivery Man, and the main guy is Vince Vaughn.
Great name.
No
What?
way.
No way.
Yeah. And it turns out he fathered 533 children.
Is it based on a true story, or does it not say?
Mr. True Story over here.
No, I was just curious. It would be interesting if it actually happened.
I'm not 100% sure.
Wow, we might have to watch that.
Yeah.
Might have to be
it was a
added to the
great
queue.
movie. Came out in 2013. I think, yeah.
Wow.
Maybe I saw it about 3 years ago. So. But anything else we want to touch on? I mean, NBA playoffs. Is there any news with that?
NBA and NHL playoffs just started this past week.
Are Blackhawks still in it? I think I heard that.
Yeah, but I think they're getting their ass beat.
Oh, really?
I could be wrong. I'm not keeping up with it, but I think they're in the playoffs. I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm. Anything else we should make sure we touch on before we call it till next Sunday?
Give us a follow, Twitter.
Yeah, give
SoundCloud,
us a follow on
iTunes.
Twitter, SoundCloud, iTunes, at
Facebook.
BGW Podcast on Twitter. Type in Bros Gone Wild Podcast on iTunes to find us wherever, what have you. But I guess that's gonna do it for us this week, boys.
Have to do.
I'll see you next Sunday, and cheers, boys.
Cheers.